Trying to get this started. You can barely hear anything out of my left. I'll try to adjust that. Let's see what we got. Hello, Ralphini, Puppy Ralphie. That's my third live. Gonna get to inking another page. Tend to jump around a lot when I'm inking. I don't focus on one panel. I just try to go around, see where I want to start. Got a vicinity. Let's see if you guys can get a better look. Hello, Charles. Okay. Alright. This is a great tool to have when you're inking, especially using the Wacom tablet. Put all your shortcuts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything else is right there. It's like 16 buttons. That's what I always use to ink. So usually when I ink a page, I tend to go probably to like what I would say is the easiest panel. I think it's going to be this one down here. Let's see, invert it. For some reason I have always had to invert. I can't draw like this. I have to always do it on this side. So let's get started. It's the third live I'm doing. I'm gonna take my glasses off because I can't see. Everything's too close. Let's do it right here. Hop, hop, hop. I'm not going to take anything too serious right now because I'm just warming this up. Probably when I take a look at it again, if I feel that it's not to what I want, just redo it. That's why I like digital inking over traditional. Easy to go back and fix something that doesn't look right. Just as a heads up, if I don't say hello to anybody here, it's because sometimes I'm like so focused on what I'm doing that I kind of forget to look up. I'm still new to this, trying to learn how to do, basically learning how to talk and draw at the same time. I'm not in like what you would call an out loud thinker. So I tend to just really focus on what I'm doing. Let's see what we got. Some people came by. I'm gonna say hi to them. Hello, hello, hello. And this is third time I'm doing this. Hear some music in the background. Just I don't want to be in complete silence. I want some type of noise other than my own voice. Let's see. Alright. Flip it the other way. Now, I know there was like another artist that he kind of commented that he doesn't like zooming in when he's doing inks because he feels like he loses like where he's at on the page. And I kind of get that because it's happened to me before, but I like to zoom in to see what I'm doing and kind of like sometimes there's certain details in my pencils that I'll miss if I'm too zoomed out. My hand's it's been getting steadier as I've been doing this. I used to use Sketchbook Pro to ink, but since I got my new computers as well, the motherboard stopped working, I kind of just sticking to Clip Studio Paint for everything. Now, Sketchbook Pro, I would say, is really good for if you're on a budget. Even though in Clip Studio, especially now that Black Friday's come around, they always have really great deals and specials, so you can get the EX version, which I'm using, for a great price. And that's what I did a couple years ago. I just got it. I think I got it for $60 or something like that. I'm not too sure. And this has been my go-to for the longest. Almost perfect circle. You're probably thinking, why don't you just use one of the circle tools? Well, this is on clothing wrinkles, so it's not going to be a perfect circle. And using the elliptical tool sometimes is a pain in the ass, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, no, I made a mistake there. It should be this whole thing should be always trying to remember something. In, out, and that's how it goes. Once you start drawing the same characters over and over and over again, you just start remembering things for them. Alright, eventually I'll come back to this. To fix up some details. Gotta fix his hair. Kind of has very messy hair at all times. It's kind of his character is very nonchalant about a lot of stuff. On this, it's kind of alright, I gotta make sure I'm still connected. Yeah, I'm still connected. I kind of got scared for a second there. It said that I got disconnected. I didn't even notice it. Seriously, need to get a moderator. Keep an eye on this. I don't know how some other people who've done this longer can focus so well. My internet connection is really good too, so it shouldn't be an issue. What was I saying? About the Galaxy. I always say Galaxy for some reason. The Cintiq tab. For some reason, it's kind of really sensitive when it comes to using the scrolling wheel right here. So sometimes I'm trying to zoom in, zoom out, and whoops, not what I wanted. And it's kind of I'll just go crazy, just do whatever I want. Now, I'll go moving on to another panel. Let me take a look around and see what I think I can do. I tend to always jump around. I don't fixate on doing it in order like I used to. I used to do that a lot. Alright, go to symmetry tool right here. Since he's facing front. Now, symmetry tool is really good, but you have to kind of be careful on the spacing. You don't want to make it have everything too wide or kind of like too off-centered. You see that, like right there with the mouth, it had like that little mistake right there. I simplified so much stuff in my style. Took cues from a lot of things because I used to be really fixated on a lot of details, and then it kind of like occurred to me like, you gotta draw this over and over and over again. So I'm trying to figure something out here. Okay, that's not what I want because it's kind of off to the side a bit. So turn off the symmetry tool for now. Let's get to his hair. And he's the same character as in the bottom panel. So his hair tends to be kind of like unkempt, very messy. Sometimes he has like bags under his eyes too. Right here. Kind of like hanging off of him a little bit. Let me fix that one up. Let's see. Snip is right here. Make sure I get it in. Here, the shoulders. Some trim on the neck. So you guys know, this is my original story, Psychic Revolution. It's heavily inspired by the 90s X-Men from Marvel Comics. And I've always been drawn to the X-Men titles more than like any other ones, like Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, stuff like that. I just felt like I always really root for the underdogs kind of in stories. Oh, made a mistake there. That's you guys ever use this? Make sure you close areas. So that way when you use the paint bucket tool, it doesn't bleed into everything else. So I'm relatively quick when it comes to inking, because everything is just there. I'm very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm very tight with my pencils. All the information is ready on the page. There's not a lot of like guessing on what has to be done, and that's what saves me a lot of time when I do my own inks. I've been drawing this one character so many times that I already know where everything goes for him. all that clicking is the tap. So right here. Move that. So, like I was saying, Second Revolution is heavily based on the X-Men, like 90s X-Men. Always been drawn to team books because I feel like the dynamics are a lot better because there's always somebody around for those characters to bounce off of. And I also think that it takes real skill to write a team book because you have to juggle so many personalities, and you gotta really know how to like make sure every character has like their own voice. So usually, like I kind of, that's why I'm really drawn to it, because you always can find one character you can relate to. Now, yeah, I did say like X-Men is pretty much one of my favorite Marvel comics. Started collecting it around right before they did the whole team, like kind of like revamping every team, all the main teams. They had a story that was going, the Muir Island saga, and that was like my introduction to a character called the Shadow King. So Shadow King basically is a psychic that is just as powerful as Xavier, and he's actually like one of Xavier's biggest rivals. Like, they've been going at it for decades, and I think at one point the Shadow King actually lost his physical form, so he only exists in the astral plane, the psychic plane. And what he does is that he possesses people, and he uses their biggest fears against them to control them in that possession, make things easier. And in the Muir Island story, it's like he got so strong that he was able to control multiple people at once and at distances. And he basically did like kind of like a battle royal thing between all the X teams. After that story finished, they kind of saw like there's like so many members for the X-Men. You had X Factor, the New Mutants became X-Force, and they decided like, well, they're gonna just reshuffle all the teams. So a lot of the original X-Men, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Beast, and Archangel, or Angel when he first started, were part of X Factor, and they got placed back into the X teams. That was divided into two different ones, and X Factor kind of got reshuffled with a lot of the members that were part of the X-Men, and some like kind of like B-level characters that really didn't do much. And some of the New Mutants went to be part of X Factor, and then majority of the people who were New Mutants that survived from a previous crossover followed Cable and became X-Force. So my thing with the X-Men, I joined when I mean, one of the first titles I picked up, on the cover they had Colossus standing over Xavier, and I didn't know what was going on. I just thought the cover was so cool because, first things first, Colossus wasn't silver. He actually was a golden color, and it was coming from the flames that were around him, and I didn't know that because I was pretty much a kid. I didn't really pay attention to that stuff. and bought the book, read it, thought it was awesome. And when I finally saw I think I read it like in Wizard magazine or something, that they were gonna do a whole reboot of everything. I was like, I gotta start getting into this really good, because the story was awesome. And ended up getting the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont issue 1, the one that sold like 1 million copies, because they had like it was like 4 different covers and 1 gatefoil cover. That was just a combination of all of them. And I just would read that one, Uncanny X-Men, and X-Force. I don't really know why X-Factor didn't catch my attention like the other ones. I don't know if it was like Joe Quesada's art, because it was like very like angular and didn't seem too realistic, in my opinion. Like it was like, I felt like he just drew, and that was it. Like there was like, I don't know, it just didn't sit well with me. But you had Jim Lee on X-Men #1. You had Willis Portacio, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, doing Uncanny X-Men. And Rob Liefeld on X-Force. This is driving me crazy. But I gotta find where it's open here. Alright, you know what? Let's go about it this way. And that's kind of like where I started really reading comics, when it came to those titles, the X titles. And then from there, as the story goes, all those big guys left. They went to Image Comics and started doing their own thing. Own titles, own stories, not having really an answer to anybody. Probably had an answer to like investors or something, but all in all, they were doing what they wanted to do. And that's when it kind of occurred to me, like, you don't have to work for Marvel, you don't have to work for DC. You can create something yourself and put it out there, hope for the best. Now you probably guys are wondering, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Erase this a little bit. Probably asking, why am I doing this whole thing in black like this? Oh, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a reason. Once you pick up volume 4, you'll see why. And let's see. Yeah, I keep jumping around with everything I'm trying to say. Yeah, that was kind of like my start into like really looking into comics, and I started designing my own characters, heavily influenced by what I was reading, no doubt about it. I got Jim Lee's Wildcats #1, got the first one from Image, Youngblood, from Rob Liefeld, and those were like the main 2 that I was reading at that time. Like anything those 2 guys put out in Image, I bought. I wasn't really crazy about what the other creators were doing, because it kind of like didn't match what I liked. But I did get other titles, and my first X-Men crossover was the Executioner song. think it was Greco Polo. I think the Keeper brothers were part of that too. And the art department, and I think it was Jay Lee was doing the X Factor, and that was my very first X-Men crossover. Everything else I read it in trade. A lot of people give that kind of some flack, saying it wasn't such a good story, it was convoluted. It's like all the writers were arguing about what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it. But me being a teenager, I really didn't care. I just enjoyed the story. I enjoyed that. It was my first crossover ever. And it kind of was eye-opening to me, like how they can tell these type of stories, involve so many characters, how many people can be involved in just one big thing and somehow make it work. See what we got here. Love when this is, I just have to do simple shapes. Psychic Revolution Volumes 1 and very soon Volume 2 is going to be available in the shop. If you purchase it through the shop, I'm going to add in some exclusive gifts to it. Make sure it's worth the price. Volume 1 is 68 pages long. Volume 2 clocks in at 72 pages. Everything is done by me. Could have wished I had a team to work with, but I'm very protective of my work. I don't know. I feel like if I don't do it, it's not going to be right. But I'm starting to talk to other artists, trying to see for Volume 2, get some special like collaboration art done for it. See, not a bad night's work. One panel, 2 1/4 kind of. And everything else I gotta focus more on tomorrow, because I gotta add in some highlights, add in some stuff to make sure it doesn't look too flat. But I'm in New York. It's basically 11:45. I'm starting to get tired, and I'm probably gonna end it right here. I appreciate you guys who came to the live. If I didn't say hi to you, I do apologize, because I get so focused on what I'm doing that I kind of forget to check. Alright. Thank you guys. Have a good night.